All right, our grateful football fans, we're back. I know it's been a long time since you've seen us. I'm Jason, he's Matt. But hey, there's been an international break, there's been FA Cup, a lot of things out of our control. But we are back to give you winners for all 10 games of the Premier League this weekend. First of all, let's see how Matt's doing. What's going on, man?
Oh, I mean, I'm just excited to kind of get back into it a little bit here. This week really I have not made any Premier League bets, which is wild.
Hmm.
Normally I'm always, I've always got a little action somewhere, but not this week. I just haven't liked the first 2 days. I didn't like the matchups at all, and just kind of coming off of that break and some new players trying to gel after the January transfer window and stuff. So yeah, just kind of playing it light. But then this, when the matches that we're getting ready to talk about, I've got a lot of plays.
Yeah, today's card, or this weekend's card, absolutely was fantastic. So no action as of this moment on, what is it, Liverpool, Leicester, and then Wolves, Arsenal?
So no action at this moment, but there are some things that I'm looking at and I'm just waiting to see. Like I kind of mentioned to you before the show, just I would be surprised if Salah starts. I know that he wants to, but it's just not the Jurgen Klopp way. The physios are very strict there, and look, I mean, he played 120 minutes multiple times in the last few weeks in the Afcon. So I if he did start, it would be I think he would get pulled at 60. But I see him more coming on at 60 and getting a 30-minute cameo, which then makes me want to go back to
Right.
one more time Fabinho anytime goal scorer, because he would be the penalty taker. I was happy. I was just so happy, Jason, to be like proven right on that one.
Dude,
Like I
you
had a
were
good
on it.
feeling on it. The first one that I hit, it was a 10-1 shot, and it got lucky because Fabinho scored on a corner,
Yep.
and they hadn't gotten a penalty. And then I kept betting. I bet it probably 4 times now, and I went 2 for 4, and basically made off of like 15 units. And but the last one just made me feel great because they finally got a penalty in the 90th minute, and Fabinho steps up and he's the guy. So that really made me feel good.
Should make you feel good, man. It makes me feel good because I was on one of those wins, but it was all your knowledge. So no, I appreciate it. I think when I got it, it was at 850. So nice plus 850 cash right there when he banged that one in. As you said, it was off a corner. So unexpected, but we got a nice cash there. So very good. All right, well, let's jump on into it. Remind everybody we got that comment section open. So as we run through these games, if you want to provide us your thoughts and insight, please go ahead and do that. And while you're sitting there, hit that like button as we go ahead and run through these 10 games and give you winners. Let's go ahead and kick it off. We've got Manchester United versus Southampton. I watched the game yesterday, Southampton versus Tottenham. Absolutely fantastic. You've mentioned it here on the show before, Chelsea's Academy of Players, and Broja on that first goal, just kind of like flipping his right boot out. Very, very clinical finish there from that striker. Absolutely just fantastic. Southampton down 2-1, battling back in the pouring rain. Thoroughly enjoyed that football match. And United up against Burnley, it's like nothing. Like they did nothing with the ball in the first half. I know they had a goal disallowed, which I'm still trying to figure out, if do I understand soccer? Like that's Harry's offsides. He's coming on. He bumps into Rodriguez. I don't know. Either way, right when I think I understand VAR, I guess I'm showing that I don't fully understand it. But what I'm saying about United is you got to finish those chances. You got to put Burnley away. You got to get 3 points. And then to start off a second half when you know Burnley's going to come out, like if they're going to show any fight in that match, it's going to be in the first 10 minutes. And to kind of back off Berghorst, let him find Rodriguez, and he puts it past De Gea's near post, of course, was just terrible. So, in this fixture, I don't know who's going to win, but I'm seeing goals galore because United's defense is not playing up to par. And Southampton's obviously, you could score on them, and we know all the quality that United has. So to me, it's both teams to score and over 2.5, and at plus 120 over at Bet Rivers. I couldn't get that bet in fast enough, so I'm rolling with goals in this one. What about for you?
Yeah, I mean, catching that at a plus price, it makes sense. And you just have to hope and think that United's offense will start to begin to click again, because right now, you see the Ronaldo goal drought, which is so rare. I mean, it's one of the longest in his career. Um, he really burned me. I had him anytime goal scorer. I had him first goal scorer on that penalty kick miss a couple matches ago in the FA Cup. That one really stung. But yeah, they do have so much quality, and with Fernandez, and you should always still be able to bank on United scoring a goal. But Yeah, Southampton to me they're a team that has really everything I want, and be able to back a big underdog in a sense, against one of these type of bigger clubs. Ward Prowse running the show. I mean, he's one of the best midfielders in this league. And Salisu has been just incredible at the back line for them. Very solid, good center half.
Well, Romeo's been their big
let's,
one.
Sorry?
They're the CDM Romeo. Obviously he missed what was a broken foot. Like they've been a completely different team with him back in the squad.
He's always done that for them. He's that front screen that really provides, some protection, and then it gives Ward Prowse more freedom, because Ward Prowse at some moments has had to fill in that role, and he doesn't do that job. That's not what he does. But he is a pretty complete midfielder himself. But you mentioned it, Broja. He is the guy that I think in the marketplace is a completely underrated striker here. A loanee from Chelsea, very young. I know that Southampton want to buy in the summertime, and why wouldn't you? I mean, he's got power, pace, and that clinical finish yesterday against Spurs was, just sums up his game really. He's very good. So, with Ward Prowse, Broja, and Salisu, that back line, mid, striker. I mean, they've got everything that it takes. So I'm going to pick on United right now, and I just don't think that they're clicking. Could they win this match? Yes, but I just don't see them winning it by a margin. So thus, I'm going to take the +1 here on Southampton.
All right, Southampton +1 for you. One more thought on this game. You guys know I like to kind of give you guys a little special nugget whenever I can. We don't have offsides information up on DraftKings. We know usually a day before the game, they usually put up their offsides, shots, and fouls props. Anyways, United is second in offsides with 50, and Southampton is dead last with 20. So maybe put that on your radar when the offsides props comes out. Depending on what the number is, go ahead and look for, put on there either way. But yeah, it should be a huge advantage.
And what's your favorite book, Jason, to bet that on?
Always DraftKings for offsides.
Yep.
Good. Got it. Good. And last time we did it, we got a +190 cash. We took that angle, so definitely be looking for it.
Yeah, no, you've been, whenever you've given those little tidbits, nuggets of info. I mean, that I've hit them pretty much every single time, and I feel like we've gone at least 60-70% on those.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, let's keep it going. All right, why don't you kick it off first? What do you see between Brentford and Palace?
This was a match that I quickly, glanced at, rolled right through. No real feel on this one, Jason. I have to admit, I think that either team could win the match. It's hard to gauge. Brentford, they kind of gave away their 2 goals to City. Otherwise, they were somewhat competitive. And then Palace, they allow a first-minute goal to Pukki, but they were able to come back, scrap, and get a point out of that one. I think that either team could win. I think that it's a complete stay away until the pre-match lineups come out, and then maybe you could find an angle. Maybe it could be an unders match. I could see a 1-1 too. So it's no real value either for me on any of the goal scoring markets on that one too. So yeah, I just passed.
All right, yeah, we see that one about the same way, and large in part, it's between Palace's home and away form. Just been kind of poor away, been really good at home. This one's at Brentford, where we know they've been generally the complete opposite, really strong at home and kind of average on the road. I didn't have a good feel on this one. Things I wanted to kind of buy, I wasn't strong and confident in that, and also it was kind of juicy as well. So when those things are kind of happening, you see that from the bookmaker, just go ahead and lay off of it. I think each of us are going to provide you guys with half a dozen or so other winners, and we're a lot more confident in that. So with that, let's go ahead and move on to this next one there where we got between Everton and Leeds. A good betting angle, we don't have card information yet, is first in the league in cards is Leeds with 58. Fourth in the league in cards, it's Everton with 45. So once we get that card information, you could be looking to take maybe an over 4.5 or an over 5.5 cards. Let's wait and see what that information we do get. But what we will get in this match is a rejuvenated Leeds team. They are now scoring goals, multiple goals. Remember, they got 3 versus West Ham not too long ago and winning that game 3-2. Just got a thriller of a game against Villa in midweek, tying that game 3-3. So they don't have Bamford, but they're still getting it done Son. James is leading the line. He got a goal in yesterday's game. So I am confident that with how poor Everton has been, they didn't get the manager bump. They didn't even win the first game with Lampard back in the Premier League at home, against a Newcastle side. I understand they've got a lot of fight going on and what they've brought in, obviously, in this January transfer window. But I was expecting a little bit more, expecting a little bit of that manager bounce with Lampard, young kid, really rejuvenating those kids. So I like Leeds, and I like Leeds scoring. That's the only thing I feel confident in. So just give me a Leeds team total over 1.5 goals at plus 148 over at FanDuel. What about for you, Matt?
I agree. I think that they're going to score goals, and that is why I don't think that they're going to get beat in this match. And I could see myself, adding on to this one. I really think that Leeds, my bet is plus a quarter. That's the one that I've locked in already. I think I got that at plus 100 too. Let me pull up my slip. But yeah, I just see a team that scores goals. And look, Leeds, I think here we're getting into this stage, Jason. They are going to finally become bet on for me, because it looks like Phillips and Cooper are getting close to being back. So, yeah, and I don't love what I'm seeing from Everton. Like you mentioned, Lampard, he wins his first match in the FA Cup, and that's great. But then, it reverts to type, and Everton just aren't that great of a side to me. Yeah, I got this one at plus 100 on plus a quarter. Like, I love this one. I think that they can win this match. And so I think that there's the value is on the away side here in Leeds, a team that is scoring goals. Yeah, and then when you look at just continuity too, from the manager down, a team that really knows what they want to do versus a side that, they're just getting Lampard in, they're just getting Dele Alli, they're just getting Van de Beek in. So new pieces, it'll take time to gel. It's not just going to be some immediate, clicking type of chemistry really from Everton. And they grab these two similar like midfielders. So how are they really going to gel? They're basically the same type of player. They're box to box, want to get in and try and score goals. But then you've also got Richarlison and Lewin and stuff. I mean, if Everton put out a strong team, I can see them, still being able to get a point. They could win this match. They're at home, but I would just rather go with the team that has more chemistry right now.
Yeah, and a team that you can more predict that's going to score goals, take everything else right now. I think you've got a great bet in. I think Leeds is going to start to pay you back for some of the early confidence that you had in them, which was rightfully so. I mean, they were one of the best teams in the Premier League last season. Obviously stumbled earlier on and got you, but I think you're about to get them right back, and you've been on them, and I think being on them in this week is a great spot. So, yeah, good job right there. All right, let's move it over now to Wofford versus Brighton. Another off target here betting spot is offsides. You can look at the offsides market. Watford is 19th and Brighton is 18th. Both of them only have 27 on the season. So depending on what that number is, maybe we can take an under on the number of offsides in this matchup. But otherwise, I mean, Brighton's certainly been the better team. Boy, has Watford regressed right there. Now gone through multiple managers within the same season. It's just like Ranieri didn't work. I mean, I thought it worked. I thought they had some fantastic performances, but it started to stumble, and they just said, whoop, cut the cord, get in Roy Hodgson here, see if he can save us like he's saved several other clubs in his decades of managerial career, however long he's been in the game. So, yeah, this will be fascinating. I don't know, does that change your opinion of Wofford, right? I think they were kind of a good over team. Had they now regressed in your mind, probably back to an under team, right? They're probably going to get scrappy here, you think?
Yes, that's exactly it. That's why I don't want to bet against them in a sense, because we know that Brighton, they're going to have a ton of possession here most likely. So that could be an angle to look towards, is the possession. Brighton will dominate here. But we know that over the past few years, they've struggled to take their chances. And old boy Roy is going to set up here to defend. And he's going to try to scrap for every single point that he's got here and the opportunity. And, I think that Brighton are definitely on another level, but it's still a road match. Watford will get up for this one. And, yeah, for me, is just an easy pass. I really don't like betting against Roy Hodgson. I mean, that's kind of what is keeping me off. I think he's a really good manager, and he might be able to get something out of this Watford defense that has been so bad.
Yep, no, you're exactly right. And I'm actually going to be looking for also Brighton shots on target. I've been pretty good with that because they're getting shots. To your point, they're never clinical enough in the past couple of seasons. But with them having the majority of the possession, they look for that prop market once that one comes out on DraftKings, usually on Fridays as well. Maybe a shots on target one right there. All right, next one. Who's making a case for Norwich? Anybody? Anybody here making a case for Norwich? Anybody making a case for Norwich can do a damn thing? All right, what's their over-under on possession? What about 30%? You got over-under on 30% possession on this game. Taking the under? Taking the under.
It would be under.
You're taking the under. Yeah. They had a spread yesterday in the Brentford City game. It was Brentford plus 45, and that did not cash. City had like 77 to 23 or whatever that
wow.
could be. Yeah, it's great. It's going to be something similar. Look, folks, I don't know how you back Norwich in any capacity. The tough thing with City is always, trying to obviously find the right betting market. It was tough this time. The best betting market I found was their team total over 2.5 at minus 130. I know they only got 2 goals at home against a Brentford squad, but that Brentford squad is significantly better than this Norwich squad. This Norwich squad is a mess. They will be defending this entire 90 minutes. The quality of Manchester City will get the job done. I got no problem thinking that they'll get 3 goals over the course of 90 minutes. So at minus 130, I'm rolling with that team total over 2.5.
Yeah, I really just didn't have much on this one other than I included City in a parlay because I think that they could play poorly and still win here. So,
what was that, like minus 1,000 leg dropped in or 2,000?
minus 550, and you
what?
can find even
550?
like 500. Yeah,
wow.
550 and 500s at some places. So yeah, you can find an okay price, and yeah. I think it's also because this Norwich side beat City here a couple seasons ago, and that was just insane. Like,
yeah.
I weirdly think that Norwich might be able to hang in terms of like a handicap here. I don't know why. It's just that feeling of the past and maybe being able to just sit back and just defend for your life. But it really, there's no way to me that they win this match. And yeah, I think that you're probably spot on, City. If the problem with your bet is that sometimes with City, you just, it's if they're motivated or not, in a sense, like once they go 1-2-0 up, it's like they just go into cruise mode, and it's they go into just full possession. You're not going to touch the ball, and we don't even really care if we put any shots up. So, but yeah, it's City. City's too good. That's really where this one comes down to.
I maybe should have looked. Do you know if City's Champions League game is going to be this coming week, or is it going to be the following week? Because they should put, what is it, like 2 Tuesday, 2 Wednesday, and then 2 more 2 Wednesday. I wonder if City has a midweek game. I hear you're looking that up. I'm just curious, maybe in terms of the lineup, maybe City could put out, or maybe to your point, in terms of like backing off the gas pedal, if they pull players around that 60-minute mark, if they're up 2-0, something around there to protect them midweek.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it too much, but yeah. I mean, that's something that we're definitely gonna have to focus on here, in the coming weeks. When these teams do go back to Europe, and they've got that, got that angle always. So,
all right. Well, I don't know if you have a bet for this game, but I know you got a thought on this game. What about Burnley Liverpool? What's your squad going to do up against Burnley?
I think that Liverpool are going to be too strong for them, and I think that they'll win. And that's kind of another piece of the parlay. So I've got Liverpool to win today against Leicester. I've got City to beat Norwich, and I've got Liverpool to beat Burnley on the road, and it is a minus 110. And it's just it's one of those that I just think that those two teams are on a whole nother level than this league. And but when you look from the number 3 team in the league to probably all the way to 12, I don't think that there's an extraordinary gap, but I do think that there is with these two teams. Burnley, they've been scrappy. They were able to scrap with United and stuff, but look, I mean, Liverpool beat United 5-0 this year. 5-0. Don't forget about it, Jason.
No. You, every now and then you bring it up on one of these episodes, so I've not forgotten. Thank you.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Have I? I think that might have been the first time, but maybe I'll need to start more. But But yeah, I mean, I love Wout Weghorst. I think that Burnley made like a great January move. Selling a striker that was overvalued because Newcastle will pay whatever, and then you go and get a guy 1 year younger that is probably a better striker for less money. So they made a good move. I hope that Dyche can keep them up because I'm a big fan of Dyche. I think he'll make him competitive here. And yeah, but it really just comes down to Liverpool, or they're just too strong in this league, and they'll win this match. So that's really where I've left it.
I got my first look at Weghorst there the other night against Burnley. Man, with that black eye, he looked like a badass. Like he looked like nothing I wanted a part of on that pitch. Like the announcer kept being like, "Hit the long ball to Weghorst and not Rodriguez." So I'm like, if I'm a defender, like I don't want Weghorst. He got black eye. He a tough sob. Don't hit it to that guy. But yeah, great signing bringing that guy in. Look, we need Burnley in this league. We've now cashed 3 straight under 2.5s in Burnley fixtures. We cash a ton of Burnley under 2.5s. Keep Burnley in the league. I was interested to hear what you're saying because did I want to put another under 2.5 bet in Burnley? I wanted to, but Liverpool is way better than Manchester United. I mean, just put that out there. They are significantly better. The one reason that I kind of liked under 2.5 is Burnley's going to sit, and Liverpool has not gotten a job done against teams that sit. So that made me think that the under 2.5 could cash. But, man, just Liverpool's so much better than United. I thought the better play was team total for Burnley under 0.5, essentially a Liverpool clean sheet, whatever you can get it on whatever book. It burned me in midweek. United gave up that goal. Liverpool's defense, to me, is better than Manchester United's. It's just a better team. And outside of, a bad minute, for United against Burnley, they weren't anywhere near sniffing the goal. So if they almost keep the clean sheet, I think Liverpool can definitely keep a clean sheet. So I didn't hear anything from you to put me off of Burnley team total of under 0.5. So that's going to be my bet. And you can get that at minus 104 over at FanDuel.
I definitely like it. I think that, Liverpool most likely win it to 0. And like you mentioned, Liverpool really struggle to break down teams that love to sit back. Like that's where I think that they're going to do really well today because that's not Leicester's DNA. But yeah, they do struggle. And to be real with you too, Jason, I mean, this is a bet that I've made many, many times actually over the last few seasons. It's because you normally get a goal line of 3 here, and I'm sure what it is here because I'm sure your under 2.5 would be a pretty nice plus price.
Mm-hmm. Plus 132.
I've hit it many times under between Burnley and Liverpool. Like they play everybody, all the big boys tough, except for pretty much City because they can just break down these sides. But yeah, I mean, I think that Liverpool will somewhat struggle to break them down. They'll eventually make the breakthrough, but it won't be easy. And that bet will hit as long as Liverpool don't score in the first 20 to 30 minutes. If Liverpool score in the first 20 to 30, then you might be in trouble. But if the game starts out slow, I mean, you've got a really nice shot there.
All right, well, giving me hope is the last 2 Liverpool wins at Turf Moor have both been via that clean sheet. So let's get another clean sheet over this weekend, boys. All right, let's move over now to Newcastle versus Villa, where all I see is goals, baby. Goals, goals, goals. You saw what Villa did midweek up against Leeds. You saw what Newcastle did midweek up against Everton. I cannot see anything but goals. Another angle, though, I also might bet, and I'm waiting for the sportsbook, is yellow cards. You got second in the league in Newcastle with 53 cards, and you got third in the league in yellow cards there in Aston Villa with 45. So I like goals. I like cards. Can't bet cards at the moment. I can bet goals at the moment. Over 2.5 comes at minus 118. Do I think both teams will score? I most certainly do, but do not complicate it when you're getting minus 118. Just bet over 2.5 and keep it simple. So that was the bet for me there.
I couldn't agree with you more. I like goals, I like cards, and I like Coutinho anytime assist. You can find that generally at FanDuel. They've got some good assist props. I mean, he ran the show yesterday.
Yeah, he did. Man, that scoring. One ball to Ramsey, was like phenomenal.
He looks like he's back to his absolute best. I mean, he looks now, when Liverpool sold him, he was probably a 75, 80 million euro player, and they got, the 130 or whatever. And then now he's kind of rated at this 35, 40, which is just too low of a value on Coutinho. He got his spark back at Brazil too. I mean, scoring a wonder goal. Like he's all in right now. He's trying to showcase his talent again. And for me, I think betting Coutinho anytime goal scorer, anytime assist. I think both of them will be monster prices, and so if one of them cash, then you'll win. And I really think that he's kind of running the show. I slight lean to Villa, but really it's not much. I do think that both teams to score and over 2.5 is a great look. So I'll wait to see the lineups there, but yeah, it looked really strong.
Yeah, it's been great having Coutinho back, and I don't know if they have an obligation to buy or what the full loan agreement was, but hopefully they can make that a permanent transfer in the summer because love having him back in the Premier League.
I think that they have a club option actually, in which I would
Perfect.
assume that they're going to utilize it, and I think it's for 38 to 40 million,
Buy
and
it. Do it.
they're gonna do it.
Cool. One more note on that yellow cards I had here in my notes. I meant to do it. Craig Pawson, he's going to go ahead and be the referee. He averages 4 yellow cards a match. So in a match where you've got second and third most yellow cards in the league on at it, maybe you'll get a little bit more with Craig Pawson, who averages 4. So again, let's just wait and see what the number is, and we'll go ahead and bet that one to add it with over 2.5 goals. All right, what do we got? One more goal? Nope, we got 2 more games here. We only got 9 this week. That's right. Chelsea's in the Club World Cup final. So 2 more go. We got Tottenham Wolves. I got nothing for this matchup. To me, it was which style do you think is going to win? Wolves games average 1.7 goals on the road. Tottenham's cashed 4 straight under over 2.5s. Which philosophy is going to win out? I think the under 2.5 is just because of just how damn good they've been, and they've just been really structured and really sound. But to me, when you just get 2 really just opposing numbers kind of go bang to bang, I like a lot of other bets, so I kind of stayed away from this one.
I love Wolves here. I think that they're better than Tottenham. Um, just I think that the numbers this weekend, like the first things that stuck out to me is Southampton are plus 475 against United, and Wolves are plus 475 against Tottenham. I think that one of the two win. I would think it would be more towards Wolves that could win because United still have just I don't know. I trust Wolves' defense more to be able to lock down a game and win. And I think that Wolves seriously are a better side than Tottenham. I think
Mm-hmm.
that when you stack up player for player, I think that Wolves have the edge here. And thus, when I'm getting a +1 head start here, I have to take it. And I would be shocked. I would be absolutely shocked, Jason, if Wolves lose this match by a margin. So I feel like I'm getting kind of a free hit on the +1, and so I'm gonna take it and roll with it. I can't wait to watch Wolves today too. We really didn't get to talk too much about that match, but I'm focused right now. I'm getting ready because I maybe want to bet them today at home as a dog. I would be surprised if they got beat today against Arsenal. So I really like what Wolves are cooking up. I love this side, and I have for a couple of years now.
Yeah, I like what you're saying over there. You can actually get that double chance. I was just kind of curious why you were talking the double chance parlay at plus 487. There was Southampton, Wolves. Both of those are at plus money individually. I don't know. I was already on Wolves as well, not from a betting side, but kind of like from a thought perspective. I do agree with everything you said there. Wolves is the better team. Don't be surprised if they walk away with at least a point. Maybe snatch up all 3 of those points. All right, let's move over to the last one where it's Leicester versus West Ham. How many times are we going to cash over 2.5 and both teams will score in a Leicester game? A lot, and I'm going to cash it again this weekend, I bet, boys, because that's the bet at the -114 over at FanDuel. I mean, got it against Nottingham, in the FA Cup over the weekend. Just keep cashing. Leicester is so damn leaky. We know you got Antonio and Fornals. Bowen is scoring like every damn game, it seems like. Bowen, he's on a hell of a run. Suchek's chipping in there from the midfield. So I like everything about this game in terms of goals. I think both of them will definitely contribute. So to me, yeah, it's definitely -114. People always try and pick winners. Winners, just goals. What's going on with you, Matt, in this game?
Well, I like your angle. I wish that you almost would pick the winner here, though, too, because I think that both teams to score and West Ham is a strong look, like West Ham to win here. I'm on West Ham draw no bet. I think that Leicester are kind of a joke right now. Like you said, they're leaky. I think that West Ham, they're getting slept on right now. I'm, just watching my favorite kind of soccer shows, ESPN FC. Everyone's talking about United. Everyone's talking about Tottenham to get the fourth spot. I think it's really like I like West Ham. I like Wolves. I like Arsenal. I think that those teams pose a real threat, and I think that when you stack up man for man, I think that West Ham against any of those sides are just as good, if not better.
I
Like
think
you
better.
mentioned, Bowen. Bowen is an extremely valuable player. He's an over 75 million pound type of player, mixed with Antonio, mixed with Fornals, like Suchek, like you mentioned. They've got a great midfield, powerhouse midfield players. And yeah, so I think that West Ham they're just too strong really here for me. For Leicester, I don't think that they get beat. I don't see how they get beat here. So I think again the pick'em is safe. I want to money line it, and I still might money line it when I see the lineups drop because I just think that yeah, can I see Leicester scoring? Yes, they've got a great front line like Daka, Iheanacho, Madison. They can always score, but I think that West Ham have the same kind of firepower, if not more, with probably a little bit more solidity at the back than Leicester have.
Painful for me to agree, but I do think West Ham is that fourth best team there in the Premier League. But
You can get big money on that. They were just a few weeks. They were when everyone was stacked up, and I was looking at they were at 7 or 8 to 1 to finish in the top four. When United and Spurs were like, I think Spurs were like plus 100 or something, or
well,
somewhere in that mix.
they've got so many
Uh,
games in hand. That's why Spurs is going to be valued like that. I think they've only played 21 games where the guys around them. Well, now they're up to 22 from yesterday, and the
but
other guys around
Spurs
them
are
are
a
at
joke.
24. No, I know.
Spurs are a joke. Spurs are. That's the only match this week that I'm kicking myself for not betting. Is I would have clearly been on Southampton, and I was working so much that I really didn't like have enough time to check lineups or anything like that. But
Mm-hmm.
I think that Tottenham sucks, and I think that they're huge fade material, and I think that they get beat, and that plus 475 hits this weekend with Wolves.
Nice. Yeah, I was on over 2.5 goals in that game yesterday, so obviously it was an easy cash as there was 5 goals in that game. All right, let's go ahead now. We're to the part of the show where we reveal our official bets. So we've got our money on Matt's bets, my bets, ones you want to tail, and put your money behind. Let's go ahead and put Matt's up, and let's put mine up. Why don't you run through yours first, Matt?
Liverpool City, the two best teams in the league. Liverpool today, Liverpool tomorrow, Liverpool the next day, and the next day after that. No, but, yeah. So Liverpool beat Leicester today. Liverpool beat Burnley this weekend, and City take care of Norwich. And yeah, to be able to find that at minus 105 was shocking. Would I've loved to get it at a plus price, of course, but I can't pass it up. I think that these two teams are just so far ahead of the others. Southampton plus one, minus 110 at Old Trafford will be a tough match, but I think that it's a free bet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that they will lose by a margin to Man United. Another roadside, Leeds plus a quarter. I think that they win the match at Everton. Their offense is more fluid. Wolves plus one, minus 137 against Spurs, like I just mentioned. I think it's a free bet, and I think that they win the match outright. And West Ham, draw no bet at minus 125. I think that they are clearly the better side against Leicester.
Wow, Matt, I look at that card and I don't see where you're losing, man. I think maybe at worst you get 2 pushes, maybe you get like 3 wins and 2 pushes, but I don't see where you've got a
That's
loss. I love that.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, actually. So we'll see how it shakes out. I really did find it hard to believe, like, unless Everton throw out a perfect 10 out of 10 lineup and they just play well like that, maybe they could beat Leeds. I mean, they are, they're favorites, but yeah, other than that, yeah, there could be a push in there. But I do like them.
Yeah, I like that a lot. All right, my bets this week are going to be United Southampton. Both teams are scoring over 2.5 at plus 120. I'm going to go ahead and do Newcastle Villa over 2.5 goals at minus 118. I'm going to do Leicester West Ham. Both teams are scoring over 2.5 at minus 114. I'm taking Leeds team total over 1.5 goals at plus 148. I'm taking that Burnley team total under 0.5 at -104. And I'm taking City to round it out on their team total to have 3 or more goals at -130. And that's how we'll do it for match week number 26 this weekend. Pumped for it.
I don't see a lot of losers on that card either, really. I think that there's a ton of good value picks there too, Jason.
I appreciate it. All right, make sure you're giving Matt a follow on Twitter. Let's go ahead and throw it up one more time. He's a fantastic follow on Twitter. A guy will always tweet out winners once the lineups drop, so make sure you're following Matt. I'm a little less under it. Got 2 kids grabbing at my ankles, so I can't quite fire out as many live winners as Matt is, but he's the follow on Twitter. Make sure you give him a follow. Otherwise, guys, thank you guys for the likes and comments throughout the show. Tail these winners, and we'll see you back here for next week's Match Week. Enjoy the games, Matt. We'll see you back here next time.
You too, Jason. Thanks.